right dead smack in the middle of the NFL offseason. Free agency wave is come and gone. We're not quite at the draft quite yet, so I figured it'd be a great time to go back. And now that all the big signings are spoken for, barring a couple of people, to look at some of the teams that made the best decisions this offseason. There's not a better place to start than the Denver Broncos. And before we get into who they signed and what those guys bring to the team, I do want to talk about the Broncos situation right now. And we'll start with the defense. And that's the biggest jump from 2023 to 2024. It's not at the quarterback position, it's not anything offensive. It's the defense, who went from 25th in EPA per play to first. And their offense didn't take a huge jump despite Bo Nix having a really good rookie season with his 34 touchdowns and the highlight reel tape that he put on, the amazing throws that he had. They only went from 21st in 2023 in EPA per play to 19th. It's not really a big jump, but when you look at the outlook of the quarterback position, with Russell Wilson, it was an expensive guy, big contract, veteran, not a lot going forward in the future. It was an albatross of a contract. Now you got Bo Nix. He's a good quarterback. He showed that in his rookie season. He proved a lot of people wrong, myself included, in that bunch. And now you have the outlook to where I have my starter. I have my guy on a rookie contract, and I can go on to spend. And the first person I want to look at here is someone who's going to help him a lot this year in the pass game, and that's Evan Ingram. Denver didn't really target tight ends last year. They had 4 tight ends that combined for 71 targets across the entire season. Evan Ingram, in 9 games, he spent some time injured. He had 64 targets. It's a guy you can throw at a lot because he's used to the volume. 143 targets in 2023. He had another season of 100 targets with the New York Giants way back when. He's going to be Bo Nix's best friend. He's going to be the number 2 target other than Courtland Sutton. And this is a dude 100% I'm going to target in my fantasy drafts later. I'm jotting down people I like, and Evan Ingram is one of them. And if you look at Sean Payton's history, when he first got to New Orleans, he got Jeremy Shockey. We all remember Jimmy Graham, excellent tight end. And he even made use of a veteran 37-year-old Benjamin Watson. Evan Ingram is going to be a very useful player, and you hope that he stays healthy for this season. And that's kind of the theme for the rest of the big Broncos signings. But man, you have to love this. Getting Bo Nix another target that he desperately needs. This is an A-plus addition for Denver. Continue the conversation around injury history. We do have to talk about Dre Greenlaw and his injury history. In 2021, he missed a majority of that season due to injury, only played in 3 games, and then he tore his ACL just jogging onto the field. He missed the majority of 2024, only made appearances in 2 games, but when he is on the field, he is impactful. According to Next Gen Stats, fewest receptions allowed over expected. Dre Greenlaw, out of all linebackers, number 1. He's good in the run game. He's proven that he can be an effective linebacker, and you're getting him at a good price, a good deal. And that defense, like I mentioned earlier, number 1 in EPA per play. And Dre Greenlaw just adds to that. They're a little weak down the spine when I'm talking about the linebackers. And Dre Greenlaw, if he's healthy, one of the best off-ball linebackers in the league. I guess the Broncos really did take advantage of the impending cap situation with the 49ers having to pay Brock Purdy really soon and sign Talanoa Hufanga, who did miss some time with a wrist injury in 2024. But man, he's great at getting downhill. He's still a really good safety. And looking at that defense, it's going to be one of the best units next year. All in on the Broncos. It's pretty funny how it's become they were really bad with Russell Wilson. Oh, they reached for Bo Nix. And now realistically, they could challenge for the AFC West. With these 3 teams I'm going to talk about today, there is a reoccurring theme of what allowed them to go and spend and get all these free agents. And I wonder if you can guess it before I tell you the next team. And that next team, the Vikings were set up to spend this offseason, just like how the Broncos were set up. They believe they have their guy in J.J. McCarthy, but unlike Bo Nix, JJ has yet to play a regular season snap in the NFL. The stuff from preseason was really, really promising. However, he did miss the entire year with a knee injury, but the Vikings did a great job of giving him the support that he needs to have a strong season. The biggest thing they did for JJ is they got him a much better interior line with Ryan Kelly and Will Fries, because last year with Garrett Bradbury, And Ed Ingram himself, one of the worst one-on-one pass blocking guards in the league. I believe he ranked fourth in pressure rate allowed in those situations. They go get the Indianapolis duo, and they're looking much better. There was tape last year that, man, the pressure up the middle, Sam Darnold was running for his life. That's really the big thing that they did. The second thing they did specifically for JJ is to make sure he's supported in the run game. Yes, they did that by getting Ryan Kelly and Wolf Fries, but they did that too by bringing back Aaron Jones. They traded for Jordan Mason, who was really, really good last year in Christian McCaffrey's absence. That 1-2 punch is going to be really great for the following season. I think the funniest thing, too, is how they got Jordan Mason. And you have to go back to the Cam Akers trade because they used that 6th round pick that they sent to the 49ers for Mason to get Cam Akers originally. They get it back when Houston trades for Ed Ingram, and they go and get it, and they upgrade at the running back position at that RB2 spot. Great job from the Vikings GM. They made great additions on the other side of the ball, too, with Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave. They bring back Byron Murphy. They'll go get Isaiah Rodgers, who's a little underrated, get some depth in Jeff Okudah. Maybe they'll be able to unlock them. But again, it's another team who has weaponized the fact that they have a quarterback under a rookie contract. And they already got premier skill positions, too, with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. And then you add in Rondale Moore, too, who, he could be a good third option as well. While I was recording this last night, New England had a bombshell dropped when they signed Stephon Diggs to a 3-year, $69 million contract. And to not overreact to it too much, just the numbers, like if you look at it on the surface, that's big money for a guy coming off an ACL tear. But we can't really talk about the contract until we get the details of the guaranteed money and how that is structured, because that could be set up as a 1 year and we could be fine and let him go if he sucks. But Stephon Diggs as a player will be one of the best receivers the Patriots have had in recent memory. And they need someone for Drake May to throw the ball to out wide, because last year that wide receiver room was destitute. And it's not like they didn't try to attack the wide receiver market. They were hopeful that T. Higgins would hit free agency. He got tagged and signed a big deal. They wanted to trade for DK Metcalf. That didn't happen. They wanted Chris Godwin. They were unable to get him. So being able to go get Stephon Diggs when those other guys weren't really going to happen, for them at least, out of no real fault of their own, to get Diggs and to finally secure Drake May a number 1 target. That's successful. The Harold Landry signing is intriguing to me. 3 years, $43 million. That's a lot of money for a guy who didn't have that strong of a season. I just want to crunch some numbers for you guys here. Harold Landry had the least amount of quick pressures he's ever had as a professional NFL player. It was his highest time to pressure. It was his lowest quarterback pressure percentage. He had 41 pressures, which ties him with Josh Sweat, so that's not too bad there. And 9 sacks, which is the least he's had in 3 years, but he had 10.5 last year. He was a productive player under Mike Vrabel, so potentially maybe that could unlock him and make this contract not as polarizing. I wouldn't be as bullish as I am about the Patriots offseason if they didn't couple some of their big moves with some depth signings. And my favorite depth signing they made was that 1-year, $5 million deal with Clavon Chason to pair with Harold Landry's massive edge contract. Chason, really strong season in the back half. The start, not so much. 14 pressures through 12 weeks, but man, he came alive in that Chiefs game. A quarterback pressure rate of 42.1%. He had 1.5 sacks on just 19 pass rush snaps. He was phenomenal in that game. And then he coupled that with a great game 2 weeks later against the Falcons, where he had a 21.4% pressure rate. And he didn't get to the quarterback there, but he caused some havoc with 3 total pressures. This is a dude who, very well, we look back, we go to the end of this year, this could be a high-value contract and someone that New England would really want to keep in their room long-term. New England did a great job recognizing that they had a problem at getting to the quarterback, and they did that. They addressed the edge, but they also addressed the interior with Milton Williams. I'll paint the picture for you. New England are bottom 5 in QB pressure percentage, somewhere around the 28%. One of the worst teams at doing that. However, they are one of the top teams in blitz percentage. I believe they rank 8th, so they're in the top 10 there. So you're bringing guys at a larger rate than the majority of the teams in the NFL, and you're not getting to the quarterback. Milton Williams addresses that. 12.5% QB pressure percentage puts them in the same breath as some of the best interior linemen last year. There's a lot of playing with Jalen Carter in there that kind of helps, but he can still be a meaningful contributor and assist a team that was one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, despite having a guy like Christian Gonzalez there. And they addressed the other corner spot as well with Carlton Davis, DBs. They brought in Marcus Epps, which means you can bring Jabril Peppers down, play some big nickel. I'm really bullish on this defense. Well, there you have it. Those are three teams that I think won the offseason. I'm new around here, so I'll appreciate if you can drop me a like, hit the subscribe button. That would be awesome. But thanks for staying for the full 10 minutes if you made it here. Toodles.